All right, we're here. We're flying casual today. Just some casual Star Wars talk on the Rebel Scum podcast YouTube channel. I am James Razile, and I am joined with Brock Smink, as almost always, and Joshua Lucas from the Den of Nerds. Hey, guys.
Hello.
Hey,
Hey,
live from the Rebel Scum Podcast Theater.
Brock
That's
is
true,
actually
actually.
on set. Yeah,
Just
just you. Just you. I am in my place, and Josh is in a library in Costa Rica, actually.
I'm in Costa Rica, and I have a picture of Costa Rica as well.
Yeah,
Just so you know that I'm in
just so,
Costa Rica.
so people know we can all be jealous of your warm weather because where I am, it is not very warm anymore. Summer came, I think, for 2 days in April, and I guess it's gone for the year over here. All right, guys,
Scum.
let's talk some Star Wars. Star Wars. I was on the internet earlier this week, and I came across something that I wanted to talk to you guys about, and that is Darth Vader, everyone's favorite Sith Lord, and possibly meeting up with everyone's favorite smuggler, Han Solo. The rumor is that the team that brought Darth Vader's famous hallway scene to life in Rogue One has been hired by Lucasfilm again to create another scene with Darth Vader in the Han Solo yet to be titled spin-off film. Joshua, you're the guest here. I'll start with you on this. What are your thoughts on the possibility of Vader showing up in Han Solo?
So, knee-jerk reaction, hell yes, that's awesome. As much Vader as possible, especially if it's that same scene, or the same team, rather, that did that scene, because that scene's fantastic. But after kind of searching my feelings a little bit, I don't know if it's such a good idea, honestly. I mean, look, it's like Gareth Edwards said, when you add Vader, you have to be careful because after you add him, it's almost like he's the only thing that matters. If you put too much of him in there, it becomes a total Darth Vader movie. So I don't know. I'm kind of split on it. It sounds like it could be really cool, but it also sounds like it could possibly detract from the story. I don't know.
Brock?
I get why you put him in, but I think Han Solo has to be its own thing to an extent. I think you have to build a new story for him. You have to almost create its own microcosmic universe, right? So it's like, even though you have Lando and all that and Chewbacca, I think it has to be separate. It can contain things from the original saga, but I think it needs to be separate. And if we're gonna get multiple Han Solos, then hold Darth Vader in your back pocket. There's no reason you have to put him in. It's I don't know what it is about movie studios. They have to just blow everything immediately.
Yeah, I feel like they're
Why?
hedging their bets a little bit. Like, you know what I mean? Like I don't know. Disney's so weird. It seems like they're still kind of nervous about this whole thing because they're like, it's a Han Solo movie. You know who Han Solo is, right? And it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, everybody and their mom knows who Han Solo is, and they're like, it's gonna have this Darth Vader guy in here. You know him. I don't know. Doesn't it kind of seem like that, man?
I feel like it might be an extra add-on to this announcement because it's like they're just saying that the people that did the hallway scene are gonna be working on something in this movie.
Right.
Does it act what does it say in the
I
article?
think what I read said that it's a way to bring. It's all a rumor though, so like nothing's been
Yeah.
confirmed by anybody. But they think that they might be brought on to bring Vader back into Han Solo, which knee jerk reaction. I agree, awesome. But the question is, why do you need Darth Vader in an epic scene like that in a Han Solo
Yeah.
film? I totally understand if you're going to make Han Solo an Imperial like he was in the old Legends, and Vader shows up
Mhm.
at like the beginning, I'm totally fine. But I don't want to see Vader hunting down Han Solo because he's
Right.
some renegade Imperial or something. I want to see Vader at the beginning is fine, but it won't be an epic scene. It will be just like him commanding somebody to do something.
I mean, two thoughts. This is Star Wars, and I think we can all agree that typically they give you a good movie. You
Yeah.
might not like one over the other, but they give you a watchable movie. Why would they want to one copy a scene they've already done? Like that degrades the scene in Rogue One, and then you're like, well, are we gonna do this every time? And then my other thing is just because those people worked on that scene doesn't mean they own Darth Vader. They don't just they were told, okay, this is what's gonna happen, make it happen.
Right.
So we doesn't I don't think Vader this is probably a little going past the line, but that scene is cool, not because it's Vader. It just visually it's cool. I mean, yeah, like only a character like Vader could do that,
Right.
but you could do something like compare it to the Daredevil scene in the show Daredevil, where it's like one long shot. Like that's a similar kind of effect.
Right.
And they're two different kinds of characters. So just put a character doing something awesome like that, and that's all that you have to
Yeah,
do.
yeah,
Like,
yeah. Which you could, to your point, that could be the case, right? Because even if that team comes in, they could just be doing a different
yeah,
Jedi, Han Solo, or whatever. But I think too, I wanted to mention the reason the Vader scene makes so much sense in Rogue One is because the first scene in A New Hope is Vader being super pissed on the Tantive One, being like, where are these plans? You know what I mean? And like now that scene makes even more sense because we know he just went
yeah.
to Murder Town trying to get these plans. So I think that's another reason. There's no movie for Han Solo to flow in a Vader scene, right?
I like that you called it Murder Town. That's
Murder Town.
It
that's
was
actually
Murder Town.
that's the title on the DVD chapter. Murder Town.
Nice.
Murder.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, I could totally buy somebody else doing that, but I do not. And I've said this before. I do not want to see any Jedi in Han Solo. I don't like. I know.
What's the timing though? What's the time on Han Solo? Because it's young Han.
Yeah, but
Remember there was supposed to be that scene in Sith with the young Han.
yeah, so that's not going to exist ever again because he was going to be. He actually was raised on Kashyyyk, I think, in George Lucas's original plan. Or they just did. So they're getting rid of that. But the reason I don't want any Jedi is because in A New Hope, he's so adamant that there's no cosmic force, there's no force around. He's never seen anything. The minute he sees a Jedi in, now you can say if Quinlan Vos, if that rumor that Quinlan Vos is in Han Solo, if that comes to pass, I'm totally fine with it. If Quinlan Vos is like, say, an Obi-Wan Kenobi type where he doesn't even use the Force, he's just straight out.
Yeah.
I'm just a guy in a cloak or something like that. I'm totally cool with that. But if somebody starts moving rocks with their minds in front of Han Solo, that's when it starts to get a little iffy for me.
That's a good point.
Right.
Yeah. Well, that's fair.
Because it's like, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, because you make a good point. I mean, you still put Vader in this movie, but he can't. I don't know, how does he react to Vader? He doesn't like. There isn't like a Han and Vader scene till Empire. Really,
Yeah.
there's not really much of anything. Oh well, you know what I mean. Like it's
Yeah.
not enough to be like, hey, I met you. Well,
But you know,
this
at
is
this,
crazy.
you kind of
He says Captain Solo when he first he's like, we'd be honored if you would join us.
Yeah.
What does he say to him? Captain Solo? That's what he calls him.
Yeah, and it seems like he knows of him more than who he is, and that.
Right.
Yeah, and then again, like, even if Vader does, if he uses a lightsaber, is that still kind of takes away from the Han Solo in the cantina scene and in the Millennium Falcon that we grew up with, because now like he should not even really know about this. All right,
Got it. This
Josh
is the
has
Vader
it.
scene. This is the Vader scene. Vader likes racing. This is pod racing, right? So here's the scene.
I think I'm gonna like this.
The Kessel Run. They do the Kessel Run, okay? And Vader's just like in a bar somewhere watching it, and he's watching it, and he goes,
I'm gonna take you seriously on this
pod
one.
racing." That's what he says. He said, "No, that's pod racing," in the Vader voice.
If I could hear James Earl Jones say, "Now this is pod racing," I will go see that movie in 3D, 4D, the moving seats, AVX, IMAX. They will
I'm
have.
sorry that you just lost all your subscribers. That's my bad. But I think that's the scene.
And then you hear the sound of money being swiped.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, my check. Huh?
Yeah, it'd be dope.
You want to do a Pizza Hut commercial now too?
So we know that there's going to be the Kessel Run, and we know that Han Solo has a pod car. Can we just side Akbar here for a second? A pod car. How is this different from a? Well, it's not a pod racer. How is it different from like Luke's land speeder? How like what? So where does this? What? I don't understand that at all.
Yeah, Brock, tell us what is the difference?
I feel like this is gonna land in the same area as the rebranding of the lightsaber to Rey's lightsaber. I feel like it's just a thing to make toys or something like yeah. Why change it? Like why?
Definitely. Yeah, I think you're probably right. Like it's it's just a weird thing for them to say and brand possibly. I mean, maybe it'll look really cool and we'll all want one. I don't know. Like, yeah, if it's cool enough, for sure.
Here, one of
I guess
our viewers, Subrak, said only a Jedi is the only one powerful enough to with the reflexes to fly to
Yeah.
navigate a pod racer. So it can't be a pod racer, otherwise Han would have super like reflexes. So
what?
Well, that kind of brings us into a different topic, which is kind of a hot button thing in the fandom. Is like, dude, everybody's got force sensitivity. Like Pablo Hidalgo even said this online, where he was like,
yeah,
when Han Solo is tapping into his natural talents and being really good at piloting, he is tapping into the force. It's the same thing. So even though he doesn't believe it and people don't want to frame it that way and they want Jedi to be all special and stuff, the force is just like if you're your raw talent, if you're tapping into it, you're using the force. I mean, he shoots someone no look in The Force Awakens. He no look 6-shooter guns someone down.
Yeah.
And you just don't do that without the force, I think so.
Plus, he's able to shoot the door locks, and they open or lock in whatever combination he wants to. So it's like if
Right.
you shoot it, and you're like, "I want you to lock," it'll lock. I'm like,
Yeah.
wait a second.
I mean, there's probably all sorts of examples like that. You know what I mean in the thing, but yeah.
does everyone having the force though and being able to use it like Han Solo could potentially, does that cheapen the force at all for you guys?
Not for
No, because
me.
it surrounds us and binds us together, James.
So wait, so now Finn is force sensitive. That
Of
argument,
course.
it's got to be force sensitive.
Of course,
I
but he
can
might not
accept
be
that.
Jedi level for
Oh yeah.
sensitivity. You know what I mean? Like, and I think too, it goes beyond just that because the Wills, like the way that the Guardians of the Wills view the Force, and this is really like Chirrut Enway really embodies this, is that if you look at the way he uses the Force, he doesn't manipulate it. He like goes with its flow. So like in that scene where he's dodging the bullets and stuff, he's not deflecting anything. He's just going with the flow, like tapping in, so to speak, realizing like being an instrument of the force rather than using the force the way that the Jedi do. So
Yeah. He's like achieving a certain level of awareness, I guess.
yeah, he's just like instead of like using the force to push someone, he'd more or less like know where their attack is going to be and like you know what I'm saying, like avoid it.
Like in a if you're in a in the ocean and you let the current take you or the tidal wave or whatever.
Correct.
Yeah,
Yep.
I can get it. I can buy that.
Okay, sure. Why not?
Yeah.
I don't. I don't know. I'm really. I don't know. I kind of like the idea of the force being the special thing entirely, though.
Yeah.
That's how. It just.
It could be.
I don't know. That's just me,
I
though.
think
I mean,
that's something they'll explain in the books because they wouldn't waste time in a movie to explain that.
Yeah,
It's
for
like,
sure.
no, we're all I'm the force and you're the force and we're the force
that's
together.
the.
Like
That's actually the unannounced spin-off film. Is We Are the Force. It's just a Dr. Seuss novel book of.
Lionel
The
Richie
Force.
shows up. Like,
I would watch that. He does a score for
That'd be amazing.
that one. So do you guys think, okay, all this aside, do you think Vader will be appearing in Han Solo Brock?
the first one?
Yeah, well, we don't know if there's more than one yet, right?
Oh, okay. I thought they announced that they were gonna do 3. Whatever. No, I don't think so. I
Mhm.
think that's lazy. But
Josh?
I don't think he needs to be in the film to be a presence in the film. I think it's fair for him to be a presence in some way, but I don't think they need to show him or do anything like that. It kind of depends on the story they're gonna tell, right? So like I can sit here and say like, oh dude, it doesn't make contextual sense for Vader to be in there. But then again, I don't know what they're doing. If Vader was in charge of the enslavement thing on Kashyyyk, then yeah, it makes sense for him to be there. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Oh,
But
that's a great point, actually. If he's in charge of that, he could be slaughtering Wookiees left and right.
that would be kind of dope. Like, I'm not going to say that wouldn't be, but it just has to make sense. And even that borders on contrived. It's like, really? Vader's going to be in charge of this planet of fucking Wookiees? But then again, oh, sorry. I shouldn't have. But my thing, too, is it's possible that they're trying to make this link that maybe Wookiee slave labor was used to build the Death Star. That's your tie-in. That kind of makes a little more sense that Vader could be there. So, but you know what? Even though I just said all that, no, he's not going to be in there.
I don't think so either. I think he could be mentioned all he wants to be. I don't know why he would need to be in there. And there could be another Imperial, like a Price type character or a Ray Sloan type character that we see in the film that's not Vader. It doesn't always have to be Vader I know Lucasfilm would love it to be the case if it was always Vader because he sells, but
Yeah.
I think we got to move on from Vader. But speaking of moving on from Vader, there's also talk that he will get a standalone film because you can't get enough Vader. I don't.
Yep.
I'm not. I love Vader. He's my favorite, obviously, but I'm not too keen on a Vader standalone film. I love the Lords of the Sith book. I thought it's probably my favorite book of the new canon. Absolutely love it. The always scene we just talked about in Rogue One. Favorite scene the minute I got that iTunes copy. I watched it like 17 times in one night. I just watched that scene over and over and over again on a loop. But do I want to see an entire film about Darth Vader? No. Brock, do you?
I haven't read Lords of the Sith, so I can't really comment on that part. But like, I've read the Darth Vader comics, and they're okay. Like, I don't know. It's just Vader was a good villain because he just seemed evil, more or less, and then you get the nice redemption at the end. But you only get the redemption because you see him fail, and then also you see his face. So it's like a walking like stormtrooper. Like, it's like having a stormtrooper being the main thing of a movie. Like, I mean, you could remove the mask and whatever. But I just feel like he he's not as engaging as everyone makes. I know that's gonna be huge backlash, but like visually in the movie, I don't know if he's that exciting. But
Hmm.
would it be nice to know what happened in between the movies? Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Josh, the Great Jedi Purge with Darth Vader. You in or out?
That would be amazing. I mean, my thing is, it's a tough thing because if they just make a Vader movie to be a Vader movie, like that will kind of bug me. But there's plenty of stuff I want to know more about with Vader. I mean, Lords of the Sith is incredible. I think it does a really good job of showing just the badassery of Vader, like what he was capable of, even beyond what we see in Rogue One. There's stuff that he does that just boggles the mind in that book that's really cool. Also, his internal struggle, like he is still struggling with morality at that point in that book. So that's kind of interesting. Depending on what they want to lay into the canon for story, like I could see a thing where maybe he's talking about the wills, if they're going to go that way. Maybe he had started to branch out in his own learning or teaching. More about the castle could be cool. There's plenty of stuff out there that I would want to see for a Vader solo film. But there's that diminishing return too. It's like, do I really want just Vader? I don't know. I'm like split on it.
With Lords of the Sith, even if you look at that, Cham Syndulla is actually like I would say is more the lead almost in that, and he's the one that you follow on this journey, and Vader is kind of parallel to him. So if you do a Vader standalone, do you have to have you'd have to have I guess another character, a heroic character, to follow a path on.
Right.
What about the Anakin? Not to cut you off, but what about the Anakin scene that they tease in Thrawn? The scene between Anakin and Thrawn.
Yeah.
That they tease the hell out of. I would love to know what that is.
I think you brought this up. Andrew also brought up that it's an opportunity for them to put that into Rebels next season, even possibly.
Right. Yeah,
We
that's
can
true.
get that in Rebels, flesh it out. Because I think the thing with Thrawn is, I think Thrawn is they're keeping him to the animated world, to the Rebels universe. I don't think he's going to expand books and Rebels. I don't know if we're going to see him anywhere else at all.
Yeah, that's fair.
I would love it. Actually, can I throw another question at you guys that we did not discuss? And Brock, you and I mentioned this on a podcast a little while ago, and somebody brought it to our attention in the comments. Do you see the day when we will get a Star Wars film? Josh, I'll start with you. With the lead that is an alien species, not a humanoid, someone of a completely different race leading a Star Wars film. Is that day going to come?
Ooh, that's really tough. I mean, it's funny because the answer to the question is yes, if you can cast Brad Pitt as Thrawn. You know what I mean? Like, because it's not that much of a stretch. He'll still look humanoid. He'll just have blue skin. It's still white guy Brad Pitt that everybody's, can easily digest on the screen. So that's the answer. But the truth is probably not. Like, will we ever get a Kit Fisto movie? Like, no. It's not going to happen. That's what I think.
It just ruined my day.
I'm sorry. I think that.
Go,
I
Brad.
think when we talked about it on the podcast, I used the comparison of Brad Pitt, where it's like,
Oh, you did? Nice.
I think
Maybe
so. Something I can't remember what I said, but yeah, it's true though. It's like I think Guardians of the Galaxy is helping for that possibility because I mean, your lead is still Chris Pratt, and he's just Chris Pratt. But then, Zoe Saldana is a very big actor, and I would
True.
argue she's one of the main leads as well, or at least the female lead, and she's covered in paint, and so is Dave Bautista. So is, who plays Nebula? She's from Doctor Who, Jillian,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
But anyways, they're covered in, actually most of that movie, people are covered in some kind of, they're an alien or a different race. So, but possibly, I don't know. I don't know. I guess the question really isn't who will act in it, is like what alien character is big enough for a lead role.
Right.
But again, if you do a Darth Vader film, like in Lords of the Sith, the book, when you have Cham Syndulla, who's a Twi'lek, all of a sudden Vader's what you get the audience in for, and then you trick them by following this alien species. So maybe you can get an alien lead to work in that way. And then that can also soften the blow for the next film where you follow Kit Fisto, because that film, Josh, is happening in 2022.
No, it's not.
But maybe Han Solo will set the tone for that, because I think people are saying that maybe, who's the female, Emilia Clarke? She might be an alien, right? Like,
That'd be cool.
I think we said on the podcast, wouldn't it be great if she was Hera? Like, that'd be awesome.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, Hera, and I keep saying Hera is one of the characters, like, if you're going to bring someone in, she's one that I would believe in a Han Solo film more than a lot of other characters in other films also.
Well, look at look at Ahsoka Tano. So Ahsoka's an incredibly popular character. I think if you did an Ahsoka movie, alien-centered, woman-centered, it could definitely still work just because of the popularity of that character. It's kind of a unique situation, though. Like, what other female alien character, maybe Hera, could carry an audience through a main picture? I don't know.
Yeah, in this Star Wars universe.
Vader movie. Like,
oh my god, dude, that'd be
cool.
Sign me up. Like, take all my money, literally. I will. Yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen though.
Maybe that's the Vader. What if that's the Vader solo picture? What if, like, we're literally talking about the script right now? Like, you know what I mean? Like, that could work. Vader and Ahsoka. Like, maybe they did have a second meeting. That fight in the Twilight of the Apprentice on the Rebels, it's like top 3 maybe.
I think that's what ruined this year's finale for me. Was last year's was so epic that this one felt like, the first half of this one I really liked, but then the second half I just felt flat, especially in comparison to last season's finale. That fight with it,
man,
it was excellent.
Feels,
yeah, everything so good, loved it. Brock, are you a fan of Rebels?
The TV show, or
no, the Union,
or the group, the Rebels. I love the Rebels. I love it, and we've seen the first episode of next season, so it's like,
you lucky dogs.
Wait, Josh,
yes,
you lucky dog. This guy walked away with a Last Jedi teaser poster, the Carrie Fisher tribute poster. He got to sit in the front row of the 40th anniversary panel, watch John Williams play, and I mean, we also got to sleep in our beds at night, so I guess
true.
That's
I know, right? And I missed that.
Have you ever had any health issues after Celebration?
No, I mean, I was pretty beat and just kind of sick for a while. That week, though, I stayed the extra week after, pretty much a week after Celebration. I just took it easy, vitamins, felt better. But
do you ever get off your bed?
Celebration's awesome. What's up?
Sorry, do you ever get off your bed in the middle of the night and go sleep on like your garage floor or something? Just like...
Yep. I'm like, it's too comfortable. It feels like a marshmallow. And I just sleep on the floor.
Then Ryan Johnson shows up to your place randomly.
Yeah, I have shell shock. I'm like, Ryan, sign my badge.
You spent too much years in the jungle. Now you're like, I can't sleep normally.
Yeah, pretty much.
Celebration was so much fun over there.
Yep.
Celebration was a lot of fun. Too bad the next one's not till 2019 when they announced the Darth Vader Kit Fisto buddy cop film.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah, it's called This is Pod Racing.
Yes. Seriously, I want that scene. That would be amazing. Yeah.
I do too. That in a comic, you put that in. Oh my god, that'd be my wallpaper on my computer, on my phone, on my tablet. It'd be my Google Glass, because I have Google Glass. I don't.
That's That's why he's watching in that big sphere in Empire Strikes Back. He's just watching old pod racing.
Yeah, man. And he's just like, that's pod racing.
And does it still have the commentator, Greg Proops from
Yeah. Oh,
from
for sure.
Fandom?
No, and it's just regular Greg Proops.
Yeah, it is. Oh my god. So you guys, overall, you guys, Brock, do you want the Vader solo film? Yes or no? Flat out. After we talked about it now, are you convinced that we need
Sure.
one? Josh?
Like I
I want it. Yeah, I want it. But make it R-rated. Put it on Netflix or something.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Well, are they going to ever going to make an R-rated Star Wars film? Yeah,
No.
I agree with
But
you. Yeah.
we could make a fan version and get sued.
You have Vader helmet from what I've seen, and Brock, you have a Stormtrooper helmet, and I have the shirt.
Lightsabers?
I do. I have Anakin's lightsaber. Hashtag Ray's lightsaber.
It's Ray's. Yeah, yeah.
My packaging has a picture of Anakin Skywalker on it. I can't wait till my lightsaber. I got it for like $1.99 on sale. That's why I got it. But I can't wait until next week when I go to the store and I see the same one for $15.99. But they changed the picture from Anakin to Ray. That's what I'm looking forward to. So marketing.
Ugh.
Hey, you know what? The kids that are going to go see The Last Jedi and Force Awakens, it's Ray's lightsaber to them. You know, it was Luke's lightsaber to us. Now it's
Who built the saber?
Luke.
Who built it?
Yeah, but in the movies, it's Anakin's lightsaber. But
Bananakin.
for marketing, Bananakin.
It's Bananakin's lightsaber.
But for marketing reasons, it makes complete sense that they say that it's Ray's because that's what the kids are going to buy. When you get a Ray costume and you want the lightsaber to go with it.
You know, to be fair, the reason it's calling to her is because she's a reincarnated Anakin. So Ray's lightsaber, Anakin's lightsaber is the same thing.
Are you on that? You're on that boat now? It's not the boat.
Yeah. I feel like she's a reincarnated Anakin.
I don't think she's reincarnated Anakin. I think she is a chosen one, though. The reincarnated.
Yeah, Force birth. Sure.
Yeah.
Which could kind of be the same thing, right? A little bit.
But I think Anakin will be a separate being from her. That's what I think. Like Anakin will be Anakin, and she will be Ray, or
She'll
whatever.
Be Bananakin.
She'll be Bananakin Jr.
Awesome.
To it. I dig it.
I love Bananakin.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was a thing.
Actually, you know what?
Conversation.
I watched the Phantom Menace last weekend because I do love the Phantom Menace, and Anakin says at one point that he had a dream that he came back and freed all of the slaves, and we know that doesn't happen. But I mentioned to Brock while I was watching this, I sent him a text and I said, "Is that maybe a foreshadowing of him when he becomes a Sith? He views the Jedi as enslaving the galaxy, and so he feels like he's saving the slaves of the galaxy from the Jedi, and maybe that's foreshadowing into that from his standpoint."
Could be. Could be.
And that's
perspective. The Jedi are evil.
Exactly. That's what the Vader standalone film will be about. Did someone just break into your house?
I don't know.
But we'll finish the video. It'll be
Yeah, we'll finish it up. Actually, I think that's pretty much all we had to talk about on the Flying Casual show today because this was very casual and laid back. Josh, thanks for being on the show. Where can everybody find you at?
Find me at the Den of Nerds. I'm gonna be a reoccurring member on the Fine Piece as well, talking movies. Check me out on all those places.
Now, is that a dog or a cat behind you?
That's my sister's dog.
Is
my
this
sister's
dog?
dog? Yeah, he's cool.
All right, go Brock.
Hi.
Where everyone finding you at? We've never done this before.
You can find me at BS Smink on Instagram and Twitter, and Rebel Scum Podcast. I'm always there.
And email us at Rebel Scum Podcast with any of your theories or whatever at rebelscumbags@gmail.com. You can find me at Petsafina on everything, including PlayStation 4, where you can kick my butt at Battlefront. Thanks a lot, guys, and may the force of others be with you.
Sometimes. Always.
That's so cash.
Hey scumbags, thanks for watching. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up on our video. As always, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Rebel Scum Podcast, for all the latest videos.